Welcome to Night of the Living Geeks. If you geek out over it, we've got a podcast.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to a brand new episode of PODcastica, a Doctor Who review podcast here on NOTLG.com, episode 144, The Battle of Ranskoor of Kolos. My name is John, and joining me, as he does every week, is my good friend Taylor. Taylor, take two?
Yeah.
Sorry, my bad.
Hey, you caught it early. It's all good.
Caught it about 8 minutes in, but...
Yeah, that's okay.
All right.
8 than 80.
Yes, very, very much so. How are you, sir?
I'm well. Things are kind of chugging along towards Christmas. Less than 2 weeks away now. And,
oh, yeah.
I basically got all my shopping done. Got a lot of wrapping left to do, but that's okay.
Nice.
How are you?
I'm doing pretty good.
Nice.
Let's see. I'm seeing Nine Inch Nails tomorrow.
Dude, I haven't seen Nine Inch Nails since 1994 when this completely unknown band called Marilyn Manson opened up for him.
Wow.
Whatever became of those guys?
I don't know. Wow, that's
nice.
That's great.
Nice.
Yes, this will be my. I'm going with Ernesto.
Cool.
And this will be, I think, my third or fourth time seeing them. I'm very excited.
Right on. I've honestly just seen them the one time.
Oh man, they have progressed mightily.
Oh yes, no. I mean, I've listened to some of the more recent stuff on Spotify and the whatnot, but it was kind of nice to recently revisit the Downward Spiral.
Oh yeah, and Pretty Hate Machine.
Yeah. Oh boy, that got me through my first breakup.
Great album.
Great album. Long story behind that one too.
Oh boy. Well, for another time, possibly.
Indeed.
Let's we're doing this again. So let's tell the people what's going on over at If Memory Serves this month.
Yeah. By all means, folks, go and check it out because we are very excited to present our first anniversary show. Yeah, we've been doing this for a year now. And we chose to do our first movie review, and we did it of a TV movie that aired in 1985 called Poison Ivy. But not the one with Drew Barrymore and whoever else, Neve Campbell or somebody. This was 1985, summer camp TV movie. Michael J. Fox was in it. Adam Baldwin was in it. Nancy McKeon was in it. Comedian Robert Klein, bunch of kid actors that you probably won't recognize. And so we spend, a big long time just kind of going over our memories of this movie. And then amazingly enough, I didn't think it was going to happen. But we had kicked around the ideas well, what if we could get a hold of one of these kid actors now that they're an adult and have an interview with them? And I'm like, that would be awesome. And my brother works for the State Archives. He's a researcher, right? This is his job. And sure enough, he managed to get a hold of one of the guys via Facebook of all things and say, hey, look, I realize you have no idea who I am, but we loved your acting in this one movie you were ever in. Would you be willing to sit down for an interview with us? And sure enough, he agreed. And we set up a time, made it happen. So tacked that onto the episode. And our present to you from If Memory Serves is a ginormous helping of 2.5 hours of this NBC TV movie and our memories of it, plus this really awesome interview. And I totally want everyone to check it out.
Yeah, definitely go check that out. It sounds very, very interesting.
Yeah, and we've even got a link in the show notes. If you've never seen it, it is on YouTube, complete with commercials. So you can go check that out and watch it and then listen to it. So you're not just sitting there going, I don't know what these guys are talking about. It sounds funny, but go watch it. It's worth it.
Well, all right, here we are. Who News, take two. This is around the time where we figured John wasn't recording because a light was blinking. But
yeah,
let's get into this Who News again, shall we?
Good old blinky lights. Well, first off, good news, because it is a little bit of a mixed bag this week. Jodie will be back for sure, season 12.
Perfect. Good to great news.
Yes. Confirm that to the Hollywood Reporter. And I'm excited to see what we can get for season 12. You know, I'm so happy about that. Now, bad news, we don't actually get season 12 until 2020.
Yeah, this was rumored for a while, and we finally got the confirmation.
Yeah, which is funny because I thought we had already gotten fall of 2019.
Yeah, I thought we had gotten that as well, but Sunday, the BBC went, oh, by the way, here's a little promo poster. The Doctor will return in 2020. So not at all happy about that. I think it ruins the momentum we're building for a new Doctor. I mean, if we're going to look at this in a good light, hey, Taylor, we get to review more Classic Who.
Trust me, I've already got ideas for what I want to start reviewing. And there is so much.
Yeah,
there's not just Classic Who. There is Big Finish. There's comic books. There's novels. I'm actually listening to the first 13th Doctor novel on Audible right now.
Yes. Oh, great.
I got through all the Expanse series and forgot to kind of pause my Audible membership before it renewed, and I'm like, oh well, I guess I get one more book. I'm like, let's do a Doctor Who one.
Yeah.
So yes, lots of Wilderness Year stuff that we can do. But yes, early 2020. So I would guess that we're probably looking at like March, maybe April.
Yeah, I mean, I would assume so. I don't think it'll be any earlier than that. But I mean, imagine if it was so early that we could watch an episode with everyone at Gallifrey 1.
Oh, that would be amazing. I would love that. I know I've never had that experience, but this is only my third year going.
Yeah, I think it would be it'd be pretty interesting if we got it that early, but I don't think we will.
Seriously, you would pack Program A and everybody would be going nuts.
Oh yeah, it'd be so cool.
Can you imagine that energy?
I can't, honestly. I mean, I feel like I could maybe.
Yeah. I mean, that's a good room.
Oh yeah, very good room.
So yeah, looking forward. And I'd like to, I mean, my hope for the next series is now that we've gotten through this first one, and Chibnall made it clear, he's like, hey, we're not doing any returning stuff. We're giving a fresh start. Anybody can jump on board. Let's get some classic baddies back. Let's, let's throw off the shackles. That we put on ourselves for this first season, and let's just full steam ahead and just into some amazing adventures. That's my hope.
Absolutely. Let's do it.
That's my hope. Now, obviously, we don't get a Christmas special this year. We get a New Year's Day special. Mm-hmm. But if you go over to our show notes, which will have a link to IO9, they've got to look back at Doctor Who's very first Christmas special. And it's probably not the one you're thinking of unless you were raised on Classic Who.
Yes. Which one is it? What is it?
Because in the William Hartnell era, there is a story in the middle of the ginormous Daleks master plan that happened to land on Christmas Day.
Oh.
And so they basically take an entire episode out of this entire serial to have this like side adventure called The Feast of Stephen. They don't actually eat the companion. Just
imagine if they did.
Yeah, I know. God, that would be creepy.
What a weird turn of events that would have been.
So anyway, it really is kind of a bonkers adventure. It's definitely worth a read. Check that out. This is also the classic instance where the Doctor breaks the fourth wall and looks directly at the camera and wishes everyone Merry Christmas.
Oh, that's adorable.
Yeah, it is actually.
That's great.
Yeah. Speaking of some seriously classic Who, March of 2019 is going to see the release of the animated version of the 1967 Second Doctor story, The Macra Terror.
Yes. Have you seen the little trailer they have for this? This is, man, we're reviewing the heck out of this for sure.
Oh, yeah. I'm all for it.
The animation that they've done so far that we've seen, it's very teasery. Looks great. I'm very excited for this. I feel like every time they do a new animated treatment. The animation is better, and everything feels a lot tighter, so I'm excited for this.
Yeah, it definitely looks better. It looks a lot less like a hastily thrown together Flash animation.
Yes.
I definitely think it works better in color. I mean, I said this with Shada. I definitely think it works better in color than it does in black and white.
Absolutely.
But again, that's just personal opinion on that. But yes, Macroterra, very much looking forward to that. That will definitely be on our calendar for March.
Absolutely.
So just dropping today, Doctor Who actually picked up 2 awards in the 2018 I Talk Telly Awards. I'm not really sure what that is other than an annual Twitter poll that had over 250,000 people register votes in it.
Oh, wow.
Doctor Who won Best Returning Drama, and Mandip Gill was voted Best Newcomer.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
That's very cool.
Yeah.
I Talk Telly Awards, huh?
It's something I've never heard of before.
I've never
if they're
heard
calling it Telly, it's got to be British, I presume.
Oh, absolutely.
Well, we've got a little bit more galley news.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I was all excited. I was like, oh, maybe they're finally dropping some more guests, but no.
Nope.
Not yet.
Their announcement was more guests are coming.
Yeah. And, don't get me wrong. God bless all the people who work on this con because they do
it's
so much work.
It's the place to be, folks.
Yeah. And they have said we have quite a few left to announce. They've been working diligently on some major headliner plans, and it's harder to book bigger names way in advance because you know, people's timetables and stuff, they change. I get it. I totally get it. And I know that we gleefully give Galley a little bit of crap every time we record because it's like, all right, we record, expect an announcement tomorrow.
Yep.
And I thought there was maybe something today when I looked at Facebook, but no, it was again to do with ticket transfers. So luckily we've already got that taken care of.
Yes, we do. Thank you.
Discussion panelist requests do close this Saturday, December 15th. So if you're hearing this before then, and if you are thinking of signing up, go and do that. We have a link to the Gallifrey One page in our show notes. The art show is sold out. There is still room to put an ad in their program book.
Is there?
There is. Have you thoughts, John?
I mean, I didn't know that. Where is that? Visit program advertising. Okay, let's see here. Yep. What do we got?
About halfway down the page. Huh. And while you look at that, their 2019 charity auction is going to be for the Los Angeles Science Fantasy Society Building Fund. This is a science fiction and fantasy organization that's been active in the Los Angeles area since 1934.
Oh yeah, it looks very cool.
Oh yeah, it's really neat. I think it's a great organization to help support, and one that's been around for a really long time. Yes. So I'm excited to help be a part of that. So here.
Absolutely. Perfect.
And of course, at the bottom of the page, more convention updates soon because we've got only 64 days, 23 hours, and 42 minutes left.
Yes, we do.
Holy moly, that is getting close.
Yeah, it is. Very close.
And last but not least, in terms of Who news tonight, if you haven't heard, BBC America does have a Doctor Who themed Yule log that you can have up and running on your browser of choice, or if you're so technically inclined to throw it up onto your TV. The link straight to the player is in our show notes. Yeah, it is really neat. Let it run for about an hour.
I just looked at it, but I didn't. It's pretty funny.
Yeah, it's cute. It's very cute.
All right. You want to do this? You got a little note here before we get into it.
Yeah, I just really quickly, I want to shout out a coworker of mine. Her name's Karen. She works in the information services department. She is a Doctor Who fan. Every so often, she'll catch me in the hall, and while we're like going to get coffee or something, and we'll chit chat about like the latest episode or something. And interestingly enough, she was kind of feeling how we were earlier this season. Is that she's liking it, but just it felt like something wasn't quite clicking just yet. So just wanted to say thanks to that. It's always nice to have somebody at work to talk Doctor Who with. And honestly, today I ran over to the local Tap Plastics that I've been going to since I was a kid in my parents' neighborhood in San Jose, because I wanted to get some parts for this 3D printed Dalek eye stock that I've been working on. And I walk in with the 3D printed piece, and it was very funny because I go to explain that I'm making this thing, and I said, "Well, are you guys familiar with Doctor Who?" And the guy goes, "Yeah, it's funny. We were just talking about Doctor Who." And I'm like, "I have found my people."
Yeah.
So they were very helpful. Made some great suggestions and stuff. I thought it was really cool that a Tap Plastics, which is not necessarily maybe the first place people think of going, literally has a section for cosplay supplies.
Oh, interesting.
So if you're doing foam crafting, or if you're making molds or something, I was blown away. So I want to give some props and some shout outs to these guys, especially their San Jose location near downtown. They did a great job, blowed me out of the water, and they are fans of Doctor Who as well. So thumbs up, guys.
There you go.
Yeah.
Okay. Main event time.
Ring-a-ding-ding.
The finale of season 11. I'm doing it backwards. I'm just going to read everything backwards.
Oh, boy.
No, we watched the Battle of Ranskoor of Kolos, starring Jodie Whittaker as the Doctor, Mandeep Gill as Yaz, Tossin Cole as Ryan Sinclair, Bradley Walsh as Graham, Mark Addy as Paltraki, Samuel Oatley as Tim Shaw, and Purcell Ascot as Delph.
Yeah.
Yeah, look at that.
Very good. You nailed it.
Thank you. It was written by the Chibs and directed by the Childs.
Nice.
It first aired December 9th, 2018, and is the season finale of season 11. We've got some story notes, so let's get to it.
Well, thank you, fine folks at TARDIS Wiki. To keep the return of Tim Shaw a surprise, Samuel Oatley was not credited in the Radio Times. You might remember they did something similar when they didn't want to let slip that Adric had died.
Ah, yes. Yes, I do recall that.
That would be the inverse. Like, I think they put him in instead of not. Anyway, something similar. So the Doctor previously met somebody else who stole and miniaturized planets. It was also an episode that we've reviewed that I actually thought was pretty hilarious, the Pirate Planet.
Yes, Pirate Planet.
Yep. And at times I almost kind of wish that, she was facing our pirate captain as the baddie in this one.
Yes.
That would have been a nice callback. Mm-hmm. And we also see the Doctor summon the TARDIS using her sonic screwdriver, something the War Doctor did quite frequently if you listen to some of the audio adventures.
Haven't gotten there yet.
Nope, haven't gotten there yet, but hey, we may someday soon.
Yes, we will. And as usual, Taylor, you have a world-famous synopsis for us.
Indeed. Through the Doctor's own actions, she sets into motion a complete crisis of faith amongst a generation of Ux that leads to a 3,407-year reign of terror by a former foe over anyone who previously wronged him. Can the Doctor correct things? Will Graham suddenly turn into this season's Samuel L. Jackson? Let's find out.
Yes, let's find out. Okay. Well, I think we had differing opinions.
We did,
which is fine, but also kind of strange, but not really, I guess.
It's not as common as you might think.
Yes, there we go. It's not as common with us as you may think. I thoroughly enjoyed this episode. I thought it was a very good finale. I thought while we didn't get a traditional story arc, it was kind of like I don't even know how I would describe this story arc, because it was like episodes 1, 2, and then we got episode 1, kind of episode 2, and then the finale here. I don't know what kind of a story arc that would be, but is it like a boomerang where you skip a bunch of stuff I don't know. I have no idea.
Something like that.
Beam me up, Scotty, to the end of the Just going to the end of the. I have no idea, but it's. I thought it was a solid episode. I thought the stakes were high, as they should be in a finale. I mean, there were some issues. I did have some issues, but nothing too great. I mean, I would like to hear where you're coming from, sir.
I, you know, I've had a few days to think about this now. And I certainly by no means hated the episode. I enjoyed the episode. But it felt like an episode. It didn't feel like a finale. Now, one of the alternate titles I kicked around for this episode is Let's Blame Moffat, because I think that even I have been conditioned at this point to expect these grand, over-the-top finales. We got it in the Russell T Davies era. We definitely got it in the Moffat era. And I think going into a season finale, those are the stakes. That's the level of ampedness that I've come to expect. And this episode did not have that. It did have tension. It did have suspense. But I expect more running in finales. There was a lot of walking in this episode. The pacing of it felt like it could have been any other episode this season. And I'm not trying to crap all over this. There's a lot of great stuff. I mean, I love, this tension that we get between the Doctor and Graham. I love that we get Graham, who's kind of like, and I think does it in a really well understated way. I mean, really, Bradley Walsh, MVP of the season.
Absolutely.
Just in this, like, okay, look, it's Tim Shaw. I'm going to kill this bastard.
Yeah.
And he's very calm about it. He's not flying off the handle. He's not, flying into a rage. He's not, going nuts with a gun, even though I'm sure he wants to. And I think that is way powerful. But a lot of the episode felt muted in a way. But I will completely admit, in a second watching, I kind of saw how things gelled a little bit better, and some of the bigger ideas they're working with in this story. So, like I said, I certainly didn't hate it. I did like it. It just didn't meet what I was expecting for a finale. And is that my fault? Is that Chibnall's fault? Is that Moffat's fault?
Well, I mean, I'm just looking right now. I'm looking since the return in 2005. How many finales have technically been a one-parter? And it's not a lot. I'll tell you that much.
Yeah, I've seen, and I forget which site it was on, because I feel like a lot of the news that gets aggregated my way is actually just a bunch of clickbaity crap. Screen Rant, I'm looking at you. But there was one that I saw today, and I only half read because I was busy getting some work done. And it kind of talked about how not having any two-parters was kind of a little detrimental to this season. And in part, I can agree with that. I think it was a bold choice to kind of go with, we're going to tell 10 separate stories, which for the most part were mostly separate. But I think, I think having a finale in a lot of ways, at least nowadays, benefits from having this two-part structure. You can tell a bigger story in that time. But similarly, look back at Classic Who, even though, you might get a story that's 4 parts or 6 parts, depending on which season you're in. There wasn't always an overarching story through a season that had some sort of grand resolution at the end. You had, 4 separate stories told in 3 or 4 or sometimes 6 parts. So this whole grand season finale thing, that's a modern construct.
Mm-hmm.
That's a recent thing. That's the past 15, 20 years.
Right.
So part of me is like, well, who am I to judge if This fits the concept of a season finale. This is the season finale. It was good, but I think I've also been conditioned by all of modern Who up to this point to expect something huge.
Well, I guess let me ask a different question that I don't have written down, but
That's okay.
You just brought. What if I don't know how you would do this. You would have to reconstruct the entire show. What if... well, I'm sorry, the entire season, not the entire show. What if the Doctor wasn't the Doctor? No,
What? Wait, what?
No, I'm kidding. If the woman who fell to Earth came later, would you... I'm saying more if the death of Grace had come later, would you have enjoyed the finale more? If we got the storyline with Tim Shaw a little later in the season, so it didn't feel like literally 2 months had passed since the last time we saw this character, do you think you would have enjoyed it more?
You know, that's a good question, and I'm not sure I have a solid answer to that, because I'm rapidly trying to picture, because obviously then we would have had Grace for, let's say, at least half the season.
Right, and then what do you do if it takes you away?
It takes you away could still be where it is.
Yeah, true.
You know, if let's say Woman Who Fell to Earth was episode 5, you know, obviously, you know, she would have been in the previous episodes.
Right.
But that event happening then, it might have a greater impact. I feel like we as viewers have had the past 2.5 months to kind of come to terms with Grace's death.
Ah, yes. This is a good...
So we as viewers have had all this time?
Yes, but we don't know how much time has actually passed within the world of Doctor Who.
Absolutely right. Absolutely right. So it's, I don't know. I mean, it's so hard to kind of gauge this. And then, of course, there's the voice in my head that goes, you know what? We're still getting Doctor Who. And we're still getting really great stories. Oh, yeah. Just shut up and enjoy the ride, man. You know, there's part of my brain that does that.
Yeah, I do it too. I think I did that a lot with this season.
Yeah.
It was kind of hard to, at points, go like, ugh, you know, I can't ignore this. It's too, there's something wrong with this.
There is, and maybe thoughts like this are better saved for like a full season wrap up. But I feel like on the whole this season, you know, I think I said this a few episodes ago. They're doing so many new things. New showrunner, producers, new actor playing the Doctor, new music, new titles, new effects, new everything. There's so much new in this season of Doctor Who, that there is part of me that I don't want to say is giving it all a pass,
right?
But I'm understanding that they are doing a bit of world building with this. Now, granted, yes, there's 55 years worth of world building that's been done, but
yes,
you know, here's the new tone. Here's where we're starting from with this. So I'm giving them this season to get their sea legs, as it were. And I'm expecting season 12 for us to get out of the harbor and, you know, up the throttles on this ship, if I can just work this metaphor into death.
Yeah.
You know? So anytime that I start getting a little too critical, I kind of go, okay, well, let's remember this is the first season of a whole lot of new things.
Yeah.
They are finding their way. This will not be the greatest season ever. That's okay. There's some awesome and amazing stories in here.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah. And that's okay. That's completely okay. Look at any season of classic Who. There are some amazing stories, and then there's like Underground.
Yeah.
Or Underworld. Sorry, not Underground. You know, there's Kinda. You know?
Yes.
There's some really bonkers stuff where you're going, wait, what were they thinking?
Oh, yeah.
But you still enjoy it. It's still Doctor Who.
Absolutely.
So there's, again, me in my soapbox.
That's fine. I hear you. I understand. And that's pretty much it, I guess, on that. I mean, let's get into the story and structure now, because I feel like if we keep going down that road, I'm going to be like, what did you think of the season as a whole? But we're not doing that yet.
No. I think let's wait until after we've seen Resolution.
Yes.
In order to do that.
Yes. So let's get into the structure and the story here. I think the first thing I want to say is, hey, the description of this episode was kind of cool, wasn't it?
Yeah.
What was it? 9 separate distress signals.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, kind of misleading, but if you think about it, 5 planets, there's 5 distress signals right there.
Yeah.
I thought that was fun after I thought about it a little bit.
Honestly, I do like the entire like homage to Pirate Planet.
Yes.
I know some people kind of crapped on that idea, but I'm like, no, I liked that episode. I loved reviewing that episode. So to see, that kind of idea being used again, I'm totally okay with that.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I think if there's one thing that I kind of thought to myself, I'm like, that would have been a cool payoff, is if we had gotten some payoff with the Doctor's screwdriver being made of Stenza tech.
Yes, I completely agree with that. Speaking of like Stenza tech and the Sonic and all that, I actually liked that these little stasis pods kind of kept that same shape.
Yes,
more or less. That we kind of see that repeated again.
Mm-hmm.
I do have to wonder, because when the Ucks start kind of doing their thing and their eyes start glowing, I'm sorry, but I'm hearing the Sonic.
You're not the only one, sir. If you look at my notes, I believe I have it somewhere.
Yes, yeah. and that's not explained, that's not addressed, that's maybe it's not actually a thing and we're just projecting onto it. I don't know, but that kind of made me wonder.
Yeah, that made me wonder a little bit too. Maybe there's more to it than we're actually being told.
It's possible. It's Doctor Who. Anything's possible, right?
Yeah, very true.
I like the fact that really, when you look at the big picture, the Doctor totally sets up this whole series of events.
Yes, which is, I think, why I love it even more, because there is a line. There's a bunch of lines where Tim Shaw's like, "Hey, thanks for hooking me up with these sweet digs. I'm a god." But she says to him, "Man, I really hope I wrote it down. There are consequences to all actions." And Tim Shaw says, "And these are yours, Doctor." And she's like, "Oh, he got me."
Yeah.
But also, I think we're gonna skip around here because there's a lot to cover. I saw in your notes. So I'm just gonna read one of your notes, if you don't mind. It's from the miscellaneous. It's would things have been better off if that kid had died in episode 1? So I want to restructure that question. Would things have been better off if that kid hadn't kicked Tim Shaw off the what was it? The crane. Would things have been better because the Doctor said you shouldn't have done that?
Yeah.
And I am not being like, well, the Doctor can do no wrong, blah, blah, blah. No, we know the Doctor can do a lot of wrong, lots of times. But, I feel like that would have, because we don't know how the Doctor was planning to dispose of Tim Shaw.
Yeah.
And I feel like if Tim Shaw if the Doctor had more control over that, maybe Tim Shaw would have just been sent back to wherever the Stenza is from. I'm sure they told us. I can't remember. And they would have dealt with him.
Very possibly.
So, yeah. There you go. That's what I'm saying. That's what I was thinking in that point. But yes, the Doctor is pretty much responsible for interfering with him and what he was trying to accomplish on Earth. So there you go.
Yeah. And it's just, would it have been a better situation for the universe had, or even if Tim Shaw had succeeded and gone and ascended to this role? Even though he's a weak cheater boy.
Yes.
To do so.
Double cheat.
That's right. You know, we don't know if that would have been better or worse for the universe. But
Yeah.
I think having a couple of people who can literally change the universe simply by thought, that's kind of dangerous.
Yes, very much so. So I feel like the answer is we probably would have been better off. Yes.
I think so.
Then he doesn't happen upon these people who are like, oh, this was the prophecy. What do you want us to do for you?
Yeah.
Capture a bunch of planets in a glowing piece of aggro crag? Sure.
Aggro crag.
Do you have it? Guts. Remember Guts?
Right.
There you go.
Vaguely.
From Nickelodeon. Go look it up, children.
Oh, yes, that's right.
What a show. You want a glowing piece of rock. I actually think you can buy pieces of the aggro crag on eBay, and I'm going to look that up afterwards and just put that in this room. I'm sure that'll go over well.
Yes.
Anyway, man, there is a lot to talk about. We got some kisses to the past, which is great.
Yep.
At the end, what did she say? I once towed Earth halfway across the universe and turned a Sylvine back into an egg.
Yep.
Good stuff.
Yep.
And I just wanted to use kisses to the past again because I thought that was an adorable phrase that the Chibs used.
Right?
Man, we got to talk about... I mean, we briefly touched on Graham and his just like, sorry, Doc, this is what I got to do.
Yeah.
And she's like, you have to go back. And he's like, nah, I'm not gonna.
No, that's right. Again, I did not expect Bradley Walsh to completely just blow me out of the water, win me over, and just be like, yes.
Yeah.
But yes.
It was so, I mean, if anything, it's so strange that, I mean, the show is called Doctor Who, but this is pretty much about Graham dealing with Grace's death for the entire season.
No, I completely agree. I mean, that really kind of, I mean, if the season has an arc.
Yeah. That's the arc. And then him and Ian Ryan's relationship.
Yes.
I mean, if you don't have the Cybermen in 6 episodes, but you've got a nice little arc with those two.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
absolutely do.
And I don't think that's much of a reach either, honestly.
Mm-mm.
Yeah.
No,
I mean,
it's fantastic because you get, the tension between him and the doctor. Because the doctor's like, look, you do this, you're out. I can't.
Yeah, you're done.
I can't condone that.
Yeah.
And he's like, I get it. And she's like, I don't think you do. If
you do this, you're just as bad as him.
Yeah. When we start getting this more stern doctor, this more, I don't want to say cranky because I don't think she's being cranky.
No, she's not. She's laying down the law. She says, when new people come in, I got to state the rules.
Oh, and I love that too, where Ryan's going like, hey, whoa. I thought you said no weapons.
Yeah.
And it's basically like, no, I meant you, no weapons.
Yes. I know what I'm doing.
Call of
you
Duty.
do not.
No weapons for you.
Oh, man.
That was great.
Yes.
And then Ryan, he knows that Graham's hurting. He knows he could go down this path.
Yes.
and so not only do we get another fist bump, not only do we get another granddad, we get a fist bump and an I love you.
Yes. Yes.
And that's just okay. Cool. We got the trifecta. We got the hat trick.
We got everything.
We did.
We got everything we could have wanted from that story arc. And then that's going to be great leaking into next year. I mean, or next season. And I don't want to be grim if we all make it out of whatever's coming.
Right.
And that's just going to be great because it's like, okay, we've got the weight of them, like the will they, won't they say how they really feel about each other and how they've grown as a family. That's out of the way now. So now we're off to the races and we can have fun.
That's what I'm hoping.
Which, fingers crossed, that's what we get.
Yeah.
And I mean, I loved like Graham and Ryan's scene before the sniper bot. Oh, and the sniper bots show up again.
We do. Yeah. Get the sniper bots back.
Yeah. I mean, that little scene they had before where he says that I love you and he's like, what'd you say? And he's like, don't pretend to be deaf again.
Yeah.
because I'm not saying it again.
Yeah.
And he's like, we're family. You can't do this. So, I mean, man, yeah. There's your arc, people.
Mm-hmm.
There it is.
And I gotta ask, because maybe you're a bit more familiar with Tarantino movies than I am, and because Graham's already made one Tarantino reference, I swear that the whole scene where Graham's facing off with Tim Shaw, and then shoots him in the foot, and then has this kind of like big overreaction. I feel like there's something Tarantino-esque in that, but I'm not as familiar with his body of work to go, it's an homage to this scene from this movie, because then we also get that staring down the barrels angle when they fist bump.
Yes, we do get that.
It feels very Tarantino.
That's to me, very Tarantino. I did look up shot in the foot Quentin Tarantino, and there is honestly the only thing they say is that he has a obsession with feet and filming feet. So I mean, that could be. It could be. I don't recall anyone like off the top of my head getting shot in the foot, and I'm looking up and down.
It's okay if you don't find it. I mean, either someone on Twitter will know, or it's just me projecting onto it. I don't know.
Yeah, but that's the that's the only thing that I recently saw. But yes, the barrels of the gun looking up is definitely a Tarantino shot for sure.
Yeah.
Good catch.
Yeah,
good catch. Yeah, and I mean, we just talked about Graham versus Shaw. I thought that whole scene was great, and I even just loved the silhouette of Shaw just standing there, and he's like, "My wife's dead because of you," and Shaw's like, "Good."
Yeah.
Oh man. Like.
Oh yeah.
And let me tell you, as I said, jumping around, and I feel like we're not really. We have a structure, and now there's just no structure. The way Tim Shaw was shot in that, where he's just like a silhouette.
Yep.
I loved that. Like, you couldn't even see his mouth move when he said good. I thought that was fun. And when they finally get rid of Tim Shaw, I loved the line, "You brought us all together, but you can't tear us apart."
Yeah.
Good stuff.
Yes. No, and excellence. Like, and while you spend an eternity in here, keep one thing on your mind, and they both say grace, and it's just like, which is great, because they mean it in like a remember the woman that you killed that we both loved, but it can also be taken as, we didn't kill you, we showed you grace. Yes. Oh, absolutely.
Which I thought was great as well. It was good stuff.
Yes.
And I think that's all of my story and structure notes. Look at that. You got any other story and structure notes? Because I kind of just blew through mine.
Nothing that I hadn't already mentioned before. I mean, I do love the overall message in the end.
Absolutely.
When the doctor's talking about, travel hopefully and all that.
Travel hopefully. That's a galley one ribbon if I ever.
Or a bumper sticker on some hippie's car.
That too. That's cool. There's a lot of great quotes in this season.
No, absolutely. No, this season's had some fantastic dialogue. Absolutely have loved it.
Other stuff that has been just consistently fantastic is the music. It's just been all season, and I don't want this to be a season recap, but I know at the beginning of the season we were very, very worried when Murray Gold left, but we are in good hands. I've just been blown away by how great the music has been all year.
Yeah. It was intense. It was eerie. It's still top notch in this episode. I love kind of Tim Shaw's kind of entrance music.
Yes,
kind of this guitar, almost industrial, kind of ominous, very heavy.
Oh yeah. Also the Sniper Bots entrance music was pretty great too, and that kind of it bled into the Sniper Bots coming in. It bled in from the Ryan and Graham scene, which I thought was also wonderfully scored. It was just good stuff, man.
Yeah, totally.
Look,
I'm ready for that soundtrack.
I am. Yeah, let's hope that they said it was coming out sooner than later, right?
Yes.
Good.
Yes.
I
think
wonder,
every reason to expect it soon.
Doctor Who Season 11 soundtrack. I'm just going to...
John's just going to Google his way through this episode.
I am. I'm going to Google my way. Look at this. According to Wikipedia, January 11th, 2019.
I'm very okay with that.
It has 41 tracks.
Good heavens.
Yeah, 41 tracks. And it looks I'm trying to see if they have they do. They have the Yaz and Nanny end credits is what it's called. So the Doctor
Demon of the Punjab remix
yes.
of the theme. Excellent.
It's apparently only 49 seconds, but somebody will loop it. That's fine. Okay, anyway. So there you go, folks.
Look and feel?
Yeah, look and feel. But that's cool. I mean, we didn't know that. Now we know. Now maybe
Excellent.
You know.
Have it in time for Galley.
So, yes, absolutely in time for Galley. That's great. Let's talk about directing. I mean, we really don't get a good look of the TARDIS. I think if there's anything this season could have used more, be more looks of the interior of the TARDIS. But man, that pan down to open the episode, where you get the doors are still visible, but they're open, and you can see the entire interior of the TARDIS in all of its glory, and it looks awesome.
Definitely.
Using that set piece a lot more, but that was awesome. Looked very cool. Another thing, I mean, you know, there's no weird choices in this. I don't really think there were any weird choices in anything throughout the season. But the slow zoom on Tim Shaw when we first see him like ducking down in that breathing room was awesome.
That the whole way that scene, that shot is framed.
Yeah.
And it's a complete Darth Vader.
Oh yes, homage. Absolutely.
I mean, he's sitting there. You've got these ginormous rebreathers going. I can't imagine they actually needed to be that big, but they look amazing.
Yes.
And it's just pure ominousness.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I don't even care if that's not a word, but it is now.
Oh, it is now for sure. You got anything else for directing?
Directing specifically, no. I mean, it's Jamie Childs. We know he does.
Oh yeah,
amazing work. And again, like when he and Graham face off.
Yes,
it could have been so easy. Here we're gonna have a close up on Tim Shaw. You're gonna be able to see all his features, and he's gonna say good. But to have him completely silhouetted, and you don't see him, and you don't see his mouth move, and you just hear good. That is almost more impactful than having, it's a face-off, so we got to do close-up to close-up and, spaghetti western as you just see their eyes, that kind of thing. There's choices that he makes that are unconventional but impactful.
Right, absolutely. My costume design notes are very funny.
Yeah.
As in, I really just liked Ryan's beanie.
Okay.
I liked it. It was like a mustard colored, cool looking beanie.
Yeah.
So
it was an interesting splash of color.
Yes. The Ux had some really cool get-ups as well.
Yeah, I liked their outfits a lot. Those are very cool.
Kind of sisterhood of what is it, the Karn?
The Karn.
Sisterhood of
not the
Karn.
traveling pants.
Not the traveling pants, no. I mean, kind of in that vein. Probably a different color scheme with some extra stuff, but looked pretty
definitely.
cool.
And I think the Sisterhood of Karn were a bit more flowy robe than they were. This was almost like traveling monk,
a
meets,
meddling monk?
Dreadlocks. Yeah,
a monk that is meddling.
Well, maybe not that one.
I know.
That would be nice, though. Don't get me wrong.
Oh yes, it would. It would be great.
Do you have anything else for costume? I was gonna start talking effects and stuff because I got a lot of notes for that one.
Tim Shaw, I liked his little. It looked like he looked a lot cooler in this episode. I feel he had like a cool little mesh cape looking thing.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I thought he looked a lot cooler in this episode than he did, but I could also be misremembering, and he could be wearing the exact same thing. So
it's worth going back and checking.
Yeah,
not right now though.
No, not right now.
Because
We're doing this right now. We are doing this right now. But no, that's all I have.
Yeah. Double Negative has just shown themselves to be more than capable.
Oh, yeah.
Doing some incredible work. I love the opening shot of the planet.
Yes.
And this, I don't know, maybe it's the rapidly moving clouds overhead, but I feel like this planet looks a lot like Lacerta in Time in the Rani.
Okay.
I was waiting for some of these like bubble landmines
no
pop up, but no.
No bubble landmines this time.
No tetraps either.
Nope.
The whole rock building effect, the whole edifice that's just floating.
Oh yeah. Oh, I loved that.
Oh my god.
I loved when we were I loved the formations. I just loved all the set pieces. They all looked great.
Yeah. And the inside of the edifice, and I'm thinking specifically of the scene where the Doctor is walking down the hall and is first confronted by Ardinio.
Ardinio, yeah.
Andinio, thank you. There's, for whatever reason, that scene and a couple other ones, but this one in particular gave me a complete, like, really heavy-duty, like, Blade Runner vibe.
Yes, I was trying to think of what movie it was reminding me of, but yes.
Yeah,
definitely
a lot of this industrialness kind of highlighted with repeating colors just totally gives me this Blade Runner vibe, and that scene really just kind of hammered it home for me.
Oh, absolutely, 100% agree. Yeah, the look of that, the structure, the interior of that structure was great. Mm-hmm. I loved Tim Shaw's little breathing room.
Yes,
I thought that looked amazing.
Oh yeah, no, that was awesome. So awesome.
Yeah.
And the effect they did of the planets trapped in the aggro crag.
Yes.
And they're not just sitting there. They're vibrating, and at times they're really vibrating, and just that whole effect was
absolutely
so well rendered.
Yes. There's my glowing eyes. Kind of sounded like the Sonic note. There it is.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean the when we were forming the rocks, that was great. The glowing eye effect looked amazing. I mean, let's see. For visual effect, I mean, more of a makeup. I like the Uck's little spiral scars. I thought that was pretty cool on their face. You know, the little spirals they had. I thought that was kind of cool.
Mm-hmm.
And this is a miscellaneous note, but I'll throw it into visual and special effects. I liked the look of the blue beam coming out of the TARDIS. I thought that was pretty sweet when the Ux and the TARDIS kind of connected to put all the planets back into place.
Oh, right. Yes. I love that whole effect of sending the planets back.
Yeah, I think for me, when I first saw it, I went, oh, this is kind of weird. But then I realized it's a science fiction show and I should probably just relax.
Yes.
Yeah, but I liked that little effect. I thought that was cool. Really good visual effects. And we got a rock quarry, so
it's not Doctor Who if it's not a rock quarry.
I 100% agree. Do you have anything else for set design? I mean, we kind of touched on it.
No, but you did remind me of something that probably is better brought up during our end plugs, but I feel like there's a certain question I should be asking but I'll ask it.
When you just mentioned it, I went, oh yeah, I haven't done that yet.
Okay. We'll get there.
You'll get there.
We'll get there.
Yeah. Anyway, let's get into some characters, eh?
Yes.
I noticed once again I have really no notes for Yaz. I mean, she's a solid character, and I really have nothing bad to say about her. I think she adds to the story and all the stories. You know, she's a great character, and I thought in this point, I'm like, she's from the police force. She is a police woman, so she's basically the Doctor's partner in that sense. There's I'm not going to leave you behind and stuff like that. I'm going to stick with you, and there's a lot of that, and they do pretty good detective police work together.
I think that's an excellent observation, and yes, her loyalty is really strong, and I love how she's kind of helping to weigh the risk of the few against the many for like the 70 seconds that Earth is in danger.
Yeah, absolutely. Do you have anything else for Yaz? That's really all.
I feel like she had more purpose in this episode, but I think that may well be because of what you said. Is that I think you've kind of nailed it. I mean, I've heard everybody say, "Well, yeah, Yaz is great and all, but I don't feel like she's had a purpose." But I think, because Ryan and Graham have their own thing that they've been kind of working on or working through this whole season. Yeah. Right. And that's been really obvious to people. I don't think it has been as obvious to people that Yaz and the Doctor are in many ways kind of our detective team.
Yeah.
And I think that's an excellent point that I think a lot of people have probably missed.
Well, there you go. Thank you.
You're welcome.
I did it, everyone. It only took 144 episodes, but no, I'm just kidding. I mean, Graham, I don't know how much more we could talk about Graham. I think, honestly, one thing I haven't mentioned is I wasn't sure if Graham was going to make it out.
Having seen the synopsis for the New Year's Day, I knew he was.
Well, I mean, I've been lied to before.
Fair. No, that's a very fair point.
And I know he's in promo shots, but it's like, man, if they really wanted to do a good number,
oh boy, that
would have been crazy.
That would have been like above Moffat level lying.
Oh yeah, that would have been top tier lying right there.
Yeah, that would have been pretty bold.
Yeah, but I was like, I'm not really sure what's going to happen. Is he going to follow through? Is he not going to follow through and then end up getting murdered,
or even getting the boot,
or even getting the boot? Yeah,
I mean, there certainly were avenues open to be explored.
Yes, absolutely.
I mean, I certainly thought it possible that Graham would go through it.
Oh yeah. Glad he didn't.
No, I'm glad he didn't either.
Yeah.
I mean, it's nice to see that kind of that story played out the way it did.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that definitely showed the right way to go.
Yes.
I'd love. I mean, with Graham, I'd like to say that only Graham can do Graham snark.
Yes. Oh, another cheery one.
And he does it so well.
Yes.
I live for his little quips.
Yes.
And I love the Die Hard reference.
Yes, Yippie-Ki-Ay robots.
That's who wouldn't say that?
Exactly. Good stuff.
Who would not say that?
Ryan, I don't really have anything besides, the whole saying he loves Graham and the little fist bump and knowing and basically saying Grace would say, be the better man. She's told me my entire life, now I'm telling you.
Yeah.
I thought that was great stuff. I mean, just good stuff.
Yeah, and I mean, I like again the whatever happened to no weapons exchange.
Yes,
I mean, I think that was great, and I liked I like after they get beamed into the edifice. He goes, what is it? What is it with doors? Why don't aliens like doors?
Yes, yes, absolutely.
Just very entertaining.
I mean, the Doctor just felt like. I mean, the Doctor, to me, feels like the Doctor, but like this episode was, and I've loved the progression throughout the season, but this was just like classic take control Doctor. Oh, I didn't like you before, but now I really don't like you, and now I'm going to make you pay.
Yes. Yes. It was great to see her, get that way. I would have loved to see her ramp up another notch above that.
Yes, that would have been great.
I like her rambling about the Wellingtons. As she's traipsing into the water. I really loved in the beginning, where Graham's like, "Do we have to answer that?"
Yes,
and she's like, "No, but everyone else is passing by."
Yeah,
and I was like, "Oh my god, that's brilliant."
Oh yeah,
that was well done.
All the stuff with when she's talking to Tim Shaw was great.
Yes.
I loved the bits where she was using the Sonic to, I guess, talk directly to Tim Shaw on the little the throat transmitter.
Little throat mics.
Yes, I thought all of those bits were great. It It's very great. It was almost like, kind of like, it felt a little, and I mean, I don't necessarily like doing it, but it felt a little Tenet-ish. A little
I can
bit.
see that.
Just in that scene.
No,
you know?
I can see that. I actually almost, because the exchange kind of was so rapid. You know, she'd talk to him and then shut it off and then say something to someone else in the room and then go back, you know, talking to him. And there's almost something a little bit Matt Smith.
Yeah, there's a little Matt Smith about that too, for sure. Yeah, but just I thought, I mean, the progression with each episode, I thought this was very solid Doctor episode. Yeah, and I loved the snark.
Yes.
Oh my goodness.
Yes. She does it really well.
Oh, towards Shaw when she first sees him and she says, what does she say? Oh, I got a new jacket.
Yes.
You don't look so good. And then how long is it? She's like, how long has it been? And he's like, 3,407 years. And goes, oh, that 7 must have dragged.
I thought that was hilarious. I love that.
Man, yeah, that was good stuff. Great stuff. Do you have anything else for the Doctor?
No.
I don't really have anything for Paltraki. I thought he was a solid B character. I mean, it was more of a mystery with him to figure out, like, what is going on because the planet affects the memory. But what a shot, man.
Yeah, man. Seriously, hell of a shot. And all I can say is here's to more chubby space travelers, man. We can't all be skinny.
Yeah, man. That was, you know what? That was great, too. And
right on.
I actually, we never really, I mean, we were in the dark a lot, but when he was getting all of his crew out and Ryan was following him, we got a good look at his outfit, and that was pretty sweet looking too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, good, solid space traveling.
Oh yeah,
outfit. I dig it.
Tim Shaw. I mean, I loved it. It wasn't a traditional arc, but that's fine. Obviously, he's out for revenge, which was also, I mean, technically, he says, "I'm out for what all creatures are out for, revenge." Mm-hmm. And technically, Graham was out for revenge. But then he went, no, I'm good. So he was wrong. You're wrong, Tim Shaw. You're also not a god. So,
and apparently the Stenza can live a really long time.
Yeah. Well, and I mean also probably the Ooks were keeping him alive too.
On some level, you're probably not wrong there.
Yeah.
You know, obviously he's having to deal with these rebreathers and stuff, so he can't be doing great. Obviously, he's kind of been ravaged by these DNA bombs too.
Oh yeah.
Although I do have to say that, you know, you think he's kind of weak and kind of stuck on this rebreather thing, but then when he's like, nah, I'm going to disconnect myself and just go stomping off, I'm like, well, I guess you really didn't need it all that much because you're acting like you're pretty strong now, dude.
I mean, he's probably, I guess, adrenaline, maybe, you know, like
pumped up with adrenaline.
Maybe. I mean, we don't know, but also, I mean, when he got into the room, he kind of just stood there. Like, wouldn't you just go and kill that dude immediately?
I will give you that.
So,
you know, you would think being a bad guy, the instinct is to walk in the room, there's your target, nail it, be done. But at the same time,
it's a show, so yeah.
You've got, well, yes, but that's the obvious answer. But then you've got Revenge Seeker and Revenge Seeker.
Yes.
You know, I think as the baddie, you almost kind of want to savor that a little bit because it's like, I know you want revenge on me.
Yeah.
And I'm going to drag this out a little bit and then I'm going to knock you down.
Oh, yeah.
But then that also leaves you open to getting shot in the foot.
Yes, it does. Yes, it does. The Ooks, I don't really have notes for them. I thought they were both fine in their roles. I will say it felt very much like the old white person was sticking with tradition and the younger person was like, I don't know if this is what we should be doing.
That's a good observation.
I don't think that was unintentional. But I thought they both did a fine job in their roles. I don't know if you have any other
little stuff. I mean, I love Delph's line, I walked this planet for decades. Floors are fine.
Oh, yes, that was great.
That was cute. I enjoyed Andinio's struggle with her misplaced faith.
Yes, that was great, too.
That was a nice kind of like B story going on. Delph, the actress who plays Delph, I know it's obviously not the same person. And I know that we haven't watched the Seventh Doctor story Battlefield, but there's a character in that who basically is the new Brig, Winifred Bambera. They look a lot alike to me, these two characters. Yes. So when we get to Battlefield, I mean, you'll see her and be like, oh yeah, I can kind of see that. But so far as I know, no relation at all. Just an observation.
Well, all right.
And I like that they were kind of like whatevs about the whole bigger on the inside thing.
Yes, they did not care about that
kind of like
at all.
For that. And they're like, oh, dimensionally transcendental.
Yes,
of course it is.
Good stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, I got some miscellaneous notes, but I feel like we mentioned most of them. Some of them are kind of nitpicky. Let's see. I don't know if you watched Heroes Reborn when they rebooted it. There was
no. I watched the first season of Heroes and then tried the second, and I went, I give up.
Oh man, I tried to power through the whole thing. I mean,
I remember you going through it.
I watched the original series all the way through, and then Heroes Reborn. I'm like, let's do it, and I think to this there was an episode where it said, and I'll have to find it because I took a screenshot and I went, what in the world is this? And it said like 7,423 years in the future. And
I remember you talking about this. Yes. And I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, I had some flashbacks when we saw the 3,407 years later. Mm-hmm. But, I mean, Heroes Reborn was terrible, and this is not, so that's fine.
And can I just say, I like that if you're going to do a big jump of a number of years, that it's not a perfectly round number.
Yes, always. Yeah, that's great. I like that a lot.
Always do that, people. Don't be like, 5,000 years later. Exactly.
Exactly.
No.
Yeah.
5,215 or, 4,871. Just give me some sort of crazy number.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's see here. There was some stuff. We could have used the throat comms a little more, I think, right? Like, they're like, this is how we're going to communicate. But nobody communicated immediately. Hey, we found this room with this dude tied up, and also there's more of these things.
Well, no, I mean,
I know.
Anytime that they did go to communicate something like that, the doctor is busy because she's like facing down Tim Shaw.
Right.
And so it's like, Doctor, we found something. Hold on. Dealing with something.
Yeah. All right. It's fine. I just felt like
it later, Joe Grant.
I mean, like, yes. I just felt like there was, I don't know. There could have been some more opportunities to use that, but I mean, that's obviously a nitpicky thing. Another nitpicky thing is, I feel like after they were neural inhibitors, right? Or
yes.
I feel like shouldn't the memory loss have taken a little more effect? It kind of just felt like they went, oh, I forgot. Oh, wait, now I remembered. It was, but also I guess we don't know how that works besides that it does work. So,
Yeah, you don't know really. They never explain, it takes exactly this long to have this level of impact on you. I mean, we don't know quite how long Paltraki and his crew.
Yes, we don't. So, okay.
That's there. So, I mean, it could have been a day.
Yeah.
It could have been a week. It could have been longer than that, So for a 3 to 5 minute scene where they need to be without them, I'm like, okay, I can see it having some effect. I don't know that it would have a massive effect.
Yeah. All right.
Say.
All right. I get it.
I gotta admit, Stenza is a seriously technologically advanced.
Oh yeah, man.
Society. Holy moly.
Yeah. Good. They're a good villain.
Yeah.
Or at least Tim Shaw is a good villain. We don't know about the rest of them, but I assume. I'm
curious if we ever saw more of them.
I mean, we'll see. I think we've got a decent. I mean, he wasn't killed.
Nope.
He was locked into a place where, quote unquote, no one will ever be able to get into. Yeah, we'll see about that.
And let's be honest. Anytime you say something like that, you leave it completely open.
Yeah. So, I mean, I think it's good. I think they did a good job building a decent new villain. I think, good stuff there.
I will give you that, absolutely. And I got to admit, we're dealing with the Ux, who are able to shape time and space to their thoughts. Does that make them more powerful than Time Lords?
I don't know. Possibly.
I mean, it certainly seems like it could be.
Yeah.
Something to consider.
Yeah. Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not really sure. Huh. And their eyes did make the TARDIS noise.
The sonic noise?
The sonic noise.
I know. That makes me wonder. That really, really makes me wonder. It's not addressed, and I haven't seen anybody talking about it online.
Who knows? Maybe they created the Time Lords.
Oh, my God.
Anyway.
There's a lot to blow your heads out of the water tonight.
Anyway, let's just move on from that insane thought. Behind the couch scale, how do we feel?
Honestly, barring the general creepiness of Tim Shaw,
yes.
Hey, I've got some extra teeth, kind of thing. It really didn't seem all that bad.
Right.
I think there was a lot of really scary stuff. There's a decent mystery, nice message at the end.
Mm-hmm.
I like the idea of showing my kids something where the way to win is not through force, not through killing the bad guy.
Yes.
Granted, injuring, sure. Basically permanently putting on ice. Okay, sure.
Mm-hmm.
He's not dead. He's just, paused.
Yes.
As it were. Is that more humane, less humane? Well, that's a debate to be had.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I wouldn't let this be like the first episode they ever see.
Oh, definitely. Yeah, definitely.
I'd have them see some other ones first. Maybe eventually get to The Woman Who Fell to Earth.
Yeah.
Which, is a little bit creepier than this one overall. Because, then you've also got to deal with the death of Grace.
Yes.
But, just looking at this one as a whole, how scary is it? Not terribly. If you already can go, okay, look, this guy's going to look kind of creepy. He's got teeth in his skin. But that's going to be the worst of it.
Yeah. All right, then.
Yeah.
So next time, we're going to be taking a little break here.
Yeah, we're going to take the holidays off.
Yeah, we're going to take the holidays off. We'll be back, I will guess. I mean, we'll see. Maybe the 2nd we'll record.
That's kind of where I penciled it on the calendar.
If that's doable, I can do it too. So
I can do it.
Perfect. So yeah, we'll release that episode about Resolution, starring all of our regulars, written by the Chibs and directed by Wayne Yip. New Year's Day episode. Very excited.
Yeah. I've seen 2 different trailers for it though.
I have only seen the one where it's like, hey, there's a thing here, and it's the most evil thing ever, and it has a name, and the name is, and then we don't get anything.
Okay, so you've seen what I think it was the BBC America one.
Okay.
And when I watched it, I was like, oh, please tell me that they are throwing off the shackles and we are getting a Dalek story.
Yeah, I mean, that seems like...
That would be awesome.
Seems like where we would be going, right?
However, the one that I saw online after the episode aired in the UK says that this is, the greatest evil in the whatever, and it's been buried since the 9th century.
Oh, so do you think it's...
I think it's going to be... I think it could be something else.
Well, what do you think?
I don't know.
Do you think... man...
I think it may again be something completely new. I think I'm not counting on a classic villain.
Right.
Although didn't the Eaters of Light happen kind of around that point in time, or was it earlier than that?
I have no idea.
That just popped into my head. I don't think they're making a connection to that episode, but I would love for it to be a classic baddie. I really, really would. I want to see what that would be like, and I'm not thrilled about the idea of having to wait until 2020 in order to do that.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I agree. That would be very lame.
But my gut feeling is that it probably won't be.
Yeah, I don't think it'll be the Daleks. I'm not really sure what it would be. Nothing's really coming to mind right now, but oh well. I mean, we'll see in a couple of weeks' time. But until then,
the Morax are back.
The Morax. Oh, no. So you can like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter at the PODcastica. You can follow me on Twitter at JP Thrice, and you can follow Taylor on Twitter
at Blue Box UFO.
Subscribe to us on iTunes and Stitcher and Spotify and basically anywhere else you get your podcasts. Just search Podcastica. Rate and review us as well. SoundCloud is also one of those places, soundcloud.com/the NOTLG. Head on over to notlg.spreadshirt.com, and maybe by the time you listen to this, we will have a brand new shirt up that I forgot about.
No.
Sorry, my bad.
Yeah, it's okay.
We
were inspired by It Takes You Away.
Yes. Yes, we were. So I think that's really all we need to sell them. Is we were inspired by It Takes You Away.
Yes.
And just think of a weirdly clever shirt.
Yep.
And then hopefully that'll be on there. Patreon.com/NOTLG. We will be ramping that up in the future for sure.
Absolutely.
So join us again in 3 weeks. 3 weeks? 1, 2, 3. Yeah, 3 weeks.
Christmas is in 2 weeks.
Where we will talk about the New Year's Day special resolution, and we will talk to you guys then. See ya.
See ya, and have a Merry Christmas in the meantime.
Yes, and a Happy New Year.
Indeed. And that's the obvious answer. But then you've got Revenge Seeker and Revenge Seeker.